Hello everyone, Happy New Year. So like lots of other people have been doing New Year's videos, I'm thinking about what I want to achieve this year, what goals I've got, what I'd like to see happen, changes I'd like to put in place. And one of the things a lot of people are talking about is momentum, and Charlie did a video a couple of years ago about the Seinfeld thing about not breaking the chain. And I feel like I've got a bit of momentum up at the moment because I've been working so hard on this uni work. I had a deadline for yesterday and I did get one piece of work in and I managed to get an extension for the other one. I shouldn't have left it all till the last minute. And I feel like I kind of really know what I want to be doing at the moment. I feel like my head's really clear, I feel quite focused, so that's a good way to start the year. So this don't break the chain thing is all about kind of momentum, and that if you keep something up for several days running, you're more likely to keep it going. And in Charlie's video you kind of see his checkbox thing, and Kavett has done a nice little graphic design one of those that you can have for different things that you want to do. So for example, I'm going to try and make sure that I do half an hour of piano every day, something like that. I might print one off above our dishwasher and try and get the family to make sure the dishwasher is loaded every night, and maybe one for Darcy to make sure she gets the bus every day and I don't end up having to take her. So I'll put a link to Karen's graphic thing down below and Charlie's video. And categorising tasks as well, I saw a video about that by Muzio. I'll put a link to him. Lots of helpful things on the internet, aren't there? And he was saying that he comes across a lot of people and a lot of businesses where people find they're just not getting things done, and he was saying that it's like you don't really understand exactly what the task involves, and if you can understand what type of task it is, then there's different processes for each type of task. So he puts them in 3 categories: methodical, quick fix and long range. And you might as well go and watch the video, otherwise I'm just going to repeat everything he's said in his video. So anyway, that's what I've done. I've tried to categorise all the different things that I've got to do. And in another of his videos, I found them very helpful, it's actually a video about how to not get drawn into things that other people want you to do. If you're very clear about your objectives, if you have kind of like verbalised summaries of those objectives that you can just kind of reel off. I think it's another way of describing like an elevator pitch, but it's like for yourself. So if you can break the different kind of objectives that you have in your life down into, you know, say you have like 5 different ones, that it's like I spend X of my resources working with Y on Z. So the way you do it is an X, Y, Z thing. So I would say, in my job as an IT consultant, I work with clients on development projects in Microsoft Office, mainly Excel and Access, and occasionally do training on those too. And that just describes in what I do. So when people, you know, if I just said, oh, I'm in IT, people quite often say, oh, do you think you could come around and fix my computer? Well, that isn't what I do, and they're not even going to ask me that if I'm able to verbalise it in a summary. Oh, I'm involved with charity work, and then people go, oh, maybe you'd like to come and help at our hospice. But if I say, in my role in my charity work, I work together with Ben and a team in Uberlândia, Brazil, developing education projects in public schools that is aimed at introducing and encouraging more creative and active teaching methods, incorporating group work. That's kind of long, isn't it? I need to shorten that one. But it's very specific, so if you're very specific and summarise it, this is a short one. As a jazz musician, I work with a pool of various London jazz musicians gigging and recording. So if somebody said, oh, you're a musician, and could you come and play at my 40th birthday party? Actually, I do 40th birthday parties, but anyway, whatever. It keeps it focused anyway. So that's another tool for being focused. And then talking about being focused, or rather dealing with distractions, there was another article that I came across like 6 months ago that has been really helpful. It's by Daniel Goleman, who is the emotional intelligence guy. He wrote that book on emotional intelligence, and he's written a book more recently called Focus, the Hidden Driver of Excellence. So in this article, which I think he put on LinkedIn or something, or it was LinkedIn on LinkedIn, he was saying that there are 2 broad varieties of distractions. There's sensory and emotional. So there's like your phone going off and people chatting to you, or you know, different things like that. But there's also emotional, so that if you have set aside some time to work, say a couple of hours in the morning, but then you check your emails first and then you get this really upsetting email, that's your focus gone out the window, and it's much more difficult to switch off from emotional distractions because your brain is kind of wired up to resolve them, especially if they're involving people, because you know you don't want there to be relationship problems. But he was saying as well that those kind of things can ruminate, go round and round in your head, and they're the kind of things that like wake you up at 2 in the morning and keep going around in your head until you drop off again at 4. So how to deal with those normally is to think them through, give some useful reflection to it, but obviously at 2 in the morning you can't do that. So all you have to do to kind of switch it off is think of a tentative solution. So if you can think of one thing and think, I will deal with that in the morning. However, there are some kind of overwhelming things. I think I talked about this in my last video. There was something that happened to me before Christmas that was pretty overwhelming, and I did start to get a bit worried. It was like things were really going around and around my head and they weren't easily resolvable. But I had done everything I could to resolve it, and then I just decided I'm going to do a workout, and there's something about doing something physical just kind of snaps me out of being stuck in that groove. But I am going to give more serious thought to things like coping mechanisms and that kind of thing, and thank you so much everyone who made lots of suggestions and all the lovely comments. So I do have quite a number of plans that I want to put in place this year, or things that I want to achieve, and it's going to be like about these VSO things, these summary objectives, and I think I do want to obviously carry on with my IT work to bring in some money, and I'm working on this university course for charity and social enterprise leadership, which is going to help with the work that we're doing in Brazil and carrying on with the work in Brazil, and working on my jazz. Going to try and get a few more gigs, finish off that bit of recording, get those music videos done. I'm going to carry on doing YouTube, and that's going to be one of those regular tasks that I need to do a don't break the chain thing with, I think. And I've got some standard ones like being a mum and being a wife and that kind of thing, and I've kind of categorised those as well. But as this is probably about personal goals, the way I did the verbalised summary objective is, as the main keeper of me, I work on my personal well-being, working on my spiritual, physical and mental health by spending time in meditation, working out, eating healthily and organising and prioritising my time. So that's kind of New Year's resolution-y kind of stuff. Don't know if it will help. We'll see. Bye.